Welcome back to today's stream, everyone. And yes, you did not read that title wrong. Ferguson is indeed missing. I logged into Minecraft and there seems to be a bit of a, I don't know if it's a ransom note, but there's some things we're gonna have to look at today and try and find Ferguson. Welcome, Thumpling. I wonder how Ferguson went missing. I don't know, Thump. How did Ferguson go missing? It looks like he's been taken this time. Maybe missing isn't right. Maybe I should put Ferguson has been taken. Here, let's change that. Ferguson has been taken. Let's change the title. There we go. We'll change the title so it's more accurate. Ferguson has been taken. Who knows, Thump? Who knows who took Ferguson? So it looks like I'm gonna have to do a bit of a scavenger hunt to find baby Ferguson. In case any of you are new here, Ferguson is my cat in Minecraft who this is not the first time he's technically been missing. He went missing because I forgot to make him stay home when we went to the Ender Dragon. And then he was missing for a while and then just appeared again, which was kind of cool. Someone found him. Very nice. And then now he's been taken. It's like as if my heart hasn't been through enough. Ferguson's been taken. So we're gonna find Ferguson today. Welcome, Rochelle, to today's stream. Not again, Ferguson. Not again. Why? God, why? So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna find Ferguson. Just a reminder, I think I am gonna take Monday, either Monday or Tuesday off from streaming. We might be getting vaxxed, and so I have to take time to do that. So I'm thinking if I have to go Tuesday, I might just take all of Tuesday off. Maybe I'll just stream Monday and then Tuesday will be off, but I'm gonna take a day off next week. I'll let you all know kind of whenever we get an appointment what day that will be. One, I need kind of a little break. I'm a little tired, and then two, we also have to do that. So we got things to do. But don't worry, I will let you all know ahead of time before stuff goes down or before I take some time. It's got our Minecraft playlist playing. So yes, we're gonna find Ferguson today. I'm gonna jump into the realm. I'm already in there, but we'll jump in. I don't think I've got anything else to like announce or anything today. I hope you're all doing good. It is Friday. We've made it to the weekend. I hope you have a safe, fun weekend. And yeah, I'm probably gonna be reading like books and stuff and chilling this weekend. I'm tired, chat. I'm tired. You probably even hear it in my voice. I had a nap and like I still sound hella tired. I don't know why I sound so tired. One second, my drink is too far away from me. Whew, it was like all the way on the other side of the desk. So yeah, let's jump in. I don't really got anything else to say. I don't know. I just finished watching Loki with the fam. Kind of fire. It's kind of fire. But I'm not gonna talk about it. It's hella spoiled. I feel like this show you can't even talk about it a little bit because it's so spoilery. If that's even a word. I don't know. Anyway, I think that's it. I got nothing. We're just gonna jump in. We're gonna jump in to today's stream. I feel like I've been very loud. I apologize. I'm trying to fix my audio. Feels like it's just really loud. I'm gonna turn it down. I do not want to be too loud. Okay. Let's switch over. So I gotta switch this up. See? Glitched out, but we're good. Just joking. I actually have to do it again because I don't have... There we go. Da-da-da-da-da. We don't have the audio on. That's what I gotta fix. You guys can't hear the game. Okay. We're also not in the right screen. We're doing this screen today. We're doing this screen today. There we go. No, we gotta... Bro, okay. There we go. We're good. We're good, we're good, we're good. Oh, my camera's not. Okay, now we're good. No, we're not good. Now, okay. No. No, wait. Wait, no. Okay, now we're good. We're good now. Okay, let's jump in. We gotta fight Ferguson. So I log in, okay? I just open the game. I'm like, oh, wow, this is Minecraft. Wow. And I go like this. Oh! A Tief is here! Hey, Thump. Oh, sorry. My hand, like, slid forward. I'm good now. I'm good. So it looks like we have a bit of a... I don't know if this is a ransom note. Ferguson's gone missing. He went to the light of the town. The very tip is where to be found. So I'm thinking the lighthouse, because that's the light in the town. We're gonna have to get some rescue material. Oh, we got dirt. We got dirt. We got rescue materials. No, no, you cannot come with me. Yeah. Hey! Fine. I guess you have free will. We should probably put this here. We gotta go rescue my baby Ferguson, who's been taken. I wonder if we'll get another clue up here. Imagine if Ferguson's just sitting up here. Yes, I have free will. Okay. Oh, wait, we can climb up here. I was gonna use dirt. We can use dirt, or so we can climb up here. Don't worry, Fergie, your mama's coming. Mama's coming, baby. Okay. Oh my gosh, we really do have to... Oh! The love of LGBTQ+ is where he was last seen. Oh! Okay. I know where that is. I know where that is. Oh my gosh, I thought I was gonna die. Is he at the top of it? Oh, this one. Okay. I thought it was the other one. Okay. Ah, I see a sign. The fountain of blue is the next clue. This rhyming is good. Oh my gosh. Dr. Seuss made these. Okay, I know they just flew away. I don't have... The fountain of blue? Max's fountain? I think that's the only fountain we have. Is that the only fountain in the realm? Let's see. Only fountain in the realm should be over there. Running. I should get a horse for this. Oh my gosh, I have to swim. I'm swimming. Oh, I missed. The animal. Okay, well, I can almost read. I can almost read. Ah! Okay, it's okay. We're good. We're good. The animal. Okay, 1 second. I can get up there. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. The zoo. Wait. I can get up there. I can get up. Okay. I can get up here. The animal zoo. What is this game? Why can't I just stay still? The zoo. Okay, the zoo. Something about the zoo is where you must go to. Okay, I read it. Oh my gosh. Oh, we have to be respectable while searching. Get on the bridge. Okay. Yo, I should have got a horse. Max has so many horses. Okay. The zoo is where you gotta go to. Okay. Oh, there's another sign. Museum of Greatness leads you closer. Oh, back to the museum. Oh my gosh, what if they taxidermied Ferguson and Ferguson's now on display? Oh my god. Can you imagine, chat? I gotta eat this mutton. Okay. We gotta keep running. I really should get a horse. I broke my wings. What is that, an Elantra or yeah, it's an Elantra, right? I broke it. I don't know how to fix it. Who needs a treadmill, right? I wish this was real life. You know I need to work out. Y'all know I need to work out. Oh, good. Oh, the dome of the ocean is the final destination. The dome of the ocean. The dome. The dome of the ocean. Where? We don't have a dome. Dome of the ocean. We do. Did Max make something? I don't remember. The dome of the ocean. I'm gonna keep looking. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I got it. Not Max. Oh, Max didn't make something out here? Because he has the ocean view out here. This is the ocean. It's in the ocean, right? This is the ocean? Is it out? Maybe it's out here. Something here. No, that's some sand. There's a taxidermy shop near where I live called Get Stuff. Oh, I think you told us that before. I mean, I don't personally like taxidermy, but the name is really funny. Oh, is it this? What is this? That's not a dome. Oh, this is a dome, kind of. I don't think someone made it though. This is like kind of like a dome. Not really though. Because this is the ocean, right? We have lakes near the house. I thought I may have. Yeah, taxidermy freaks me out. Yeah, it's kind of scary. But Max didn't make it, so it's got to be somewhere everyone can see it. Oh, I hate Max's thing. It makes everything too bright. I actually think I have to play Minecraft with my little cousin this weekend. I didn't do it last weekend or the one before that or the one before that or the one before that. And apparently he's been asking. I feel kind of bad. So I'm gonna play some Minecraft with my little cousin this weekend. I think. I kind of wanted to make a realm for him and my brother and I. But that's kind of expensive, you know? He don't got no job. Actually, he told me about his allowance. I was like, bro, you got more money than me. And he started laughing. He's so funny, chat. He'll trade like Lego sets and stuff. Oh! A dome. This ain't an ocean though. It's a lake, bruh. Oh, turn around. Is it this? Is this a dome? Shh, I can't English. This is a dome, but I don't see anything. Oh, up there. How do you get inside? Oh, I see. It's a Mario level. We got ladders. We got some ladders. Yo, how'd you move my cat without me? I was confused. Down here. Jump to my death? You trying to get my stuff? Now I'm getting robbed. Oh my god. Do we keep going down? Oh my god, chat. I'm gonna get robbed down here. Chat, are you prepared to see me get robbed? I'm gonna get robbed down here. Ah! Oh, that was gentle. Oh, wow, it's pretty in here. Oh my goodness. This way. See, this is the part where you go and then you lose your kidney. You wake up like Charlie the Unicorn. Ferguson! Oh, I think Ferguson likes this. Hi there. I didn't expect you guys to find me so quickly. I ran away from home because I wanted to explore the other life out there. But on my way in doing so, I found this. Ferguson, when did you learn how to read and write? Mama didn't teach you that. Oh my god. Ferguson's been doing school. Well, I've been away. Okay, what did they find? Ferguson? Oh, the legendary summon. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh. Because you can put the salmon in the museum if you want. How'd you know I would look there and go in there? How'd you know I'd go in there? We need to put this in the museum right now. This needs to go in the museum. This is too valuable of a moment. It's when Ferguson learned how to read and write. We gotta put it. Thump, get it. Thump, let's go put it in the museum. Oh, so this looks so pretty with the ray tracing on. Look at all the reflecting. Okay, Thump's gonna get it. We're gonna put it in the museum. We gotta go. Ooh, this carpet is nice. Look at this. This looks so... This is a really good example of, like, ray tracing in Minecraft. If y'all ever wanted to know what it's gonna look like, bro, it's gonna look something like that. That's insane. Like, look at this. Did the salmon teach Ferguson to read and write? Oh my gosh, the salmon... Oh my gosh, Ferguson, is that what happened? Is that what happened, Ferguson? The exit is here. Where? Where is the exit? Oh, it's there. Oh. Oh, I didn't know we could walk through signs. What is this? Ah! What? Ah! It was a trap. What just so it just blew me up. Oh my gosh, Ferguson, we have to find the boat. We have to get in the boat, Ferguson. That salmon literally taught Ferguson how to write and read. It has to go in the museum. Here we go. Woo, there we go. Ferguson, come here. Okay. Okay, we got to put that in the museum. That was a good scavenger hunt. Oh, should I probably tell Ferguson to stay here? Oh, Ferguson, where are you? Oh, there you are. Come inside the house. Come. Come inside the house. Ferguson! Ferguson. Oh my gosh. Ferguson, can you go scare that away, please? Thank you. Thank you. Good job, Ferguson. Oh, is it not afraid of Ferguson? Oh, it is. Thank you, Ferguson. You're a good boy. Come on. Ferguson, get in the house. Come on, get in the house. Good, Ferguson. Come. Ferguson! I need fish. Ferguson doesn't listen to mommy. Ferguson doesn't... This isn't cooked fish. Not gonna want that. Ferguson does listen to mommy. Fine, Ferguson. You sit right there. Indiana Jones voice. It belongs in the museum. It belongs in there. Oh, wait. Wait, did Thump bring it to the museum? We gotta put it in there. Oh. I should have done better at these doors. The legendary salmon of epicness. Yes. Exactly. Perfect. Perfect. This is exactly what we needed. I will fix this window. Trust me. The museum is still kind of... This worked out very nicely. Thank you, Thumb, for that wonderful scavenger hunt. That was pretty fun. Thank you. Man, we still gotta put stuff up here. I got things to do. I got things to do. What do you mean me? I mean, thanks for coming with me. Thumb, thanks for coming with me. I didn't know who took Ferguson. I love this. I see. Yeah, it's just thank you for coming with me. Come on, Ferguson. Ferguson! Okay, Ferguson, you can come through. Ferguson got his head stuck. Ferguson, please. There we go. There we go. Ferguson, stop complaining. We're going home. That was a good scavenger hunt. We got Ferguson back. I feel though like Ferguson liked living in there, you know? I feel like Ferguson enjoyed that throne. It was that? Oh, it's a rabbit. I feel like Ferguson enjoyed that throne, you know? Is this rabbit? Whoa! I didn't know rabbits could jump like that. Oh my gosh. Okay, I sleep. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. His head too big, now he can read and write. I mean, what's he capable of? Ferguson's capable of anything now. He's limitless. Forget needing some pills, he's limitless. Excuse me, what's hitting me? What? How did this hit me through my house? What? Oh my gosh. This guy is gonna die now. You wanna be annoying? That's what I thought. Ferguson, shh, don't do what mommy did. Come on. Keep your anger in check, Ferguson. Okay, there we go. There we go. I mean, Ferguson could do world domination at this point. Like, Ferguson is so powerful. That's unbelievable. Okay. Ferguson, where'd you... Oh my god, did he run away again? Oh, there he is. Ferguson. Remember, you need to guard mommy's house. Come here. Ferguson! Good, good, good. Come here. Okay. Good, Ferguson. Okay, Ferguson, you're making it look sad. Come stand over here. You're making it sad, Ferguson. Oh, you're making it look sad. Oh, are you happy? Or are you doing a rain dance? I don't know. How powerful are you now? How powerful are you now? Super powerful, I bet. Okay, Bubba, you need to come up here. Come up here. Remember your brother Carlos, the furnace? There we go. Okay, Ferguson. Okay, so what shall we work on today? If you weren't here for the last Minecraft stream, we did, it was kind of horrible. We thought the update was gonna be bigger, so Max and I did this whole long nonsense and it ended up being for nothing. But at the end, we worked on this room. So remember how this room was all like, had fish in it? I got rid of the fish tank, chat, because the fish tank just wasn't working out. The fish were getting stuck at the bottom. They were hella sad. And so I set them free in the water over there. And we've put a fireplace, which this is temporarily looking like this. It's just because I can't make fire pit right now. But instead I've made light up columns with the glass. And it looks kind of good, honestly. There's a little sitting area. You can read books. We can enchant things here. I don't know how well the enchantment table is going to work. I'm sorry, I gotta go have a good stream. No worries, Thump. Thank you so much for making up the, coming with me on the scavenger hunt. I enjoyed it and had a good time. I hope you have a good rest of your night. So yeah, we've worked on some stuff, chat. We've worked on some stuff. We also got this rock. Oh, God. I can give this to Ferguson. How do I feed Ferguson? I forgot. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, Ferguson! Ferguson, no. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to feed Ferguson. How do you feed them? Just make him sit down. Ferguson, I'm so sorry. Come on. Is he gonna follow me? I'm so sorry, buddy. I was trying to feed you. I don't remember how to do it. I don't remember how to feed Ferguson. Why am I hearing some Spideys? Okay, well, that was traumatic. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit Ferguson. But this place is nice, which is basically what I was trying to say. I was trying to say this place is nice. Look, oh, it's a Elytra, not an Elantra. My Elytra is broken. So what we could work on today. What we could work on today is... I was thinking maybe I should add something to my property. You know, my property is very cute and adorable. I really like what we've done with the place. We have Ferguson's tomb, which we don't really need here, but nostalgia. I got rid of the dirt, didn't I? Nostalgia. So we're keeping the tomb here. We're keeping the grave there. Even though Ferguson came back. Bless. Ferguson came back. We could work on the zoo. But I kind of wanted to add some stuff to my... I don't know, my area here. My cave here is also kind of messed up. I'm still going to keep this here, though, just because I like the way I made the structure. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff we could do today. I'm not sure what we should do today. Like, we could expand my property into this water here. This is my sugarcane farm. You know why, chat, I'm saying this is because look at Max's property. Every time I go in here, it's just like, what? Am I even playing Minecraft? Like, he's playing a whole different game than me. All of y'all are. Everyone in here, in the realm, are like going crazy with all of their awesome items and cool stuff. And I'm just out here struggling. So I'm thinking, I know we have stables and stuff, but what if I had a little stable on my property? You know? I don't know where. But what if we had one? Or what if we make another, like, building for everyone, you know? The zoo is a big project that's going to take a lot of time. And then, you know, if we're going to end up flipping... Oh, what's this? There's a glowy thing in here. If we're going to end up having to restart the realm for the next Caves and Cliffs... What is this? Ooh, what is this? What the? What is this? It's like a horror movie. What the? Okay, I don't know what this is. It's scaring me. I don't know what this is. But yeah, we're gonna have to restart the realm anyway because of the caves and cliffs, because it doesn't look like it transferred very much at all. Just the first part didn't. So Max and I were kind of worried we'll probably have to restart the realm, which means it would be a year after the realm is out, you know? So it could be time to restart. We could get a new place, build new stuff. I think it would be kind of cool to do a restart. So I think we're probably going to do the restart in December, like starting in 2022, which sounds crazy, chat. 2022? That's when we're supposed to have flying cars, bruh. We're supposed to have some crazy stuff in 2022. Yeah, see, like, I think I have a horse in here. I think it's over here. Or is this empty? Oh. Okay, it's empty. We did have horses in there. I don't think we put them back from when we all went. But I was like, I could put a little stable right here or something, you know? Like, you know, it could be a little stable. I don't know. Because this little part here, no one's using. Someone could have put their house here, honestly. There could have been a house built there. Breath of the Wild 2 and flying cars. Let's go, 2022. True. You know, Chad, I was actually thinking of restarting Breath of the Wild here on Twitch. I'm just doing a bunch of streams until the new game comes out. I don't know. What do you think about that? I think that'd be pretty cool. I haven't really played, like, genuinely played that game in probably over a year. Just over a year now. Where I was like really trying to, because I was kind of like maxed out. I just never fought Ganon. Okay, Chad, I never fought Ganon. Okay, that'd be cool. I think it'd be pretty cool. What have we got in here? Nothing. We have leads and saddles and tags. I don't know why I'm hearing a spider. We could do that, or we could work on the. But yeah, I think it would be cool. I think it'd be cool to try that out. I think that'd be neat. 2022, we're gonna have some cool stuff. We're gonna have some really cool stuff. I guess we could work on the zoo. The zoo, though, is just kind of like, I'm gonna have to go in a cave and collect stuff. I don't know if it's that entertaining. I don't know if it's that entertaining. It's just taking all this out to finish the, like, put bathrooms in here. I started it, like, digging everything up. I don't know. We can do this for a bit. If it gets too boring, we'll just do something different. I feel like my creativity for this realm is kind of gone, because I feel like I've built all the stuff I wanted to build to a degree, or I need like Max's help, and he's been pretty busy with school recently. He's just wrapping up for the year very soon. I remember that's like was like the best time. Like the feeling of like being done school for summer was like the best feeling, chat. Whether you're in school now or like you haven't been in school in a minute. Like I haven't been in school in a minute. It's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like this feeling when you walk the halls. It's like, it feels like you're free. I don't know like how to explain it. I don't know. It just felt like really freeing, like when school was done for the summer. You know, chat? It's like, I guess I genuinely, chat. Okay, if you've ever seen High School Musical 2, the whole opening scene is them like counting down because school's out for the summer, and so the clock's ticking and they're all like really anxious because they're like, it's about to be summer, and the teacher's talking about like a reading list or whatever. For like, my teachers never did that. They knew we were not gonna do that. They were like, go enjoy your summer. Don't think about school till you have to come back. And in the beginning of that movie, they're all waiting and stuff, and the teacher's talking about a reading list, and they're all like barely listening. They're just like, summer, 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 and they're just like saying it over and over again, and then when the thing rings, they all like lose their mind and a whole dance number starts. That's how I saw the last day of school. I saw the last day of school like that. Dead ass, straight up. Like that's how I that's how it was. Oh, come on. Ah! You really tried to get the drop on me. Shame on you. Sometimes when I'm back home, I see 16-year-olds and I'm like, oh, maybe they were a year or two behind me. And then I remember I've not been in school for 10 years. True. What year is it? 2021? So, oh my gosh, I haven't been in school in 6 years this year. Like going on 6 years. Oh my gosh. Damn. Holy Lord. How is time moving so quickly? The thing is, I don't even feel that much different from when I was in school. I am different than when I was in high school, like as a person, because you changed as a person, but like I don't feel super like I don't feel like it's been 6 years. I don't know. That's kind of messed up. That's kind of messed up. That feels kind of messed up. Also, High School Musical 2 opening is iconic. That opening, I'm not even gonna lie, chat. This is how lame I was in high school. I would actually play that song on my like little iPod that I had. I would play that song. Or an MP3 player. I think I had an iPod at that point. And I would like, I would play the High School Musical Summer's Out song, and I would lose my mind. Time's it, summertime. Every single summer, every single last day of school. It just made me so excited. They really just, I don't know, man. It was just so exciting. High School Musical 2 really captured being excited through summer. And so I wanted to emulate that excitement. So I'd play it in my earphones on the way to school that day. Everyone also is just on that day is so happy. Like everyone in the, like the teachers, the staff, everyone's just like, we all don't have to be here. It's like, you know what it's like? It's like for some reason, high school's like a prison, even for the people working there. That's what it feels like. It gets to be like, everyone just gets so sad after like a while of being there. And like that, the last couple weeks of summer, everyone just seems like they're just happier. They just seem like they're more happy and they're just kind of smiling more. Everyone just seemed so much more happy. And you like barely did work because teachers were making up fake work, or you're working on an ISU, which I love, chat. Independent study units was like, oh, it was the best, chat, because I had to work with no one. I hated working in groups because I always ended up getting the most work because I would do it. They're like, oh, just let her do it. And it was annoying. And I was like, I'd rather just do this my way myself. Or they make a decision where I knew we weren't going to get a good grade, but they didn't want to listen. And I didn't want to, you know, I didn't want to, you know, it's their score too. So I'd be like, whatever, I don't even care. I could fail the ISU and still pass. Like, I was like, I don't need to do whatever you want. I just loved it. Because when it was independent study units for the last month of school, I was barely there. Because one, teachers knew I would do it. And I would go home and like finish the ISU in like 3 days, hand it in. And then they're like, you're basically done the school year. And I just didn't go to school. I would go if there was something in class they wanted to cover. But otherwise, the teacher was like, yeah, you're done. I'd read whatever I wanted in there. I'd read books, go to the library, and I would just like just read books in there. the last month of high school was, or the last month of school was always just super relaxed. Like I just didn't do anything. It was nice out, and I'd be like, oh, it's really nice out. I'm not going to school today. But mind you, that's after a lot of hard work. That's after like you have like an 88 in that class, or like you know what I mean? Like where it's like you can afford to do that and the teacher will let you do that. We would just watch films for the last week of school. Yeah, also there's movies. So if there was a movie, I remember once I heard what movie we were watching in one class and I didn't want to watch it, but the next class there was a movie, so I just went to school late. And my classmates would they'd buy Starbucks. They were like, oh, you want a Starbucks? And we would just drink Starbucks and watch movies. Like, what is the point? It was like vacation. People have like sunglasses. Everyone smells like suntan lotion. Like, it was pretty crazy. The last week was just nothing. It was just doing nothing. It's just relaxing. What age do you finish high school in Canada? It depends on when your birthday is. It's usually 17 or 18. If it's 18 if you're born like into like, do you know what I mean? How you can be a little bit older than everyone, or you can be a little younger depending on when you're born. So some people, it's usually set like 17 to 18 is grade 12, which is when you finish. Usually. Some people do victory laps, which is that you failed and you come back for a victory lap. That's what it's called. So some people are 19, but not very many. In my school anyway, there's a couple. You know what was also crazy, chat? If you're 18, so like the law's like if you're 18, you're technically adult. So like kids can't sign themselves out of school, right? You can't go to the office and be like, hi, I'm signing out because I'm not feeling good. Usually you need a parent, right? But so I ended up being 18 when I was going to school. It depends on when you start kindergarten, I guess, or when like grade 1, whenever your parents send you, however old you are. So some people are a little older, but it's only usually by a few months. So I was a bit older. So I was 18 in my last year. By the time I finished, I was 18 in my last year of high school. And I was able to sign myself out. So if I just didn't want to be there, I didn't have to get a parent's permission to like call them and say, you have to call and ask to sign me out. I would just go in the office and say, I'm signing out. And they would see how old, like your birth date, and they would see I'm 18 and they're like, okay. And I would just leave. And I remember so the kids who were 18 by grade 12, people were like, that's so cool. I'm so jealous of you. I don't turn 18 till like the last month of school or something like that. And they're like, you get to do whatever you want. Like you can sign yourself out. Cause some people would sign themselves out, go to like Tim Hortons, buy food for their friends and then come back and they wouldn't be in trouble because they technically signed out. Because they're an adult at that point, right? According to the government. That's pretty crazy. They tried to get me to do it, but I was too much of a goody two-shoes. I would bring them stuff if they needed anything, but like I wouldn't like do things to let them skip school. You also get a lot of spares by the time you're in grade 12. So I also like only had 6 classes that year. So I had like 3 first semester, 3 second semester, or not 6. What is it? No, yeah, it would be 6. Yeah, I only had 3 each semester. And so like the weeks would rotate. So like on week 2, I would be able to leave school by like 1 o'clock, or wait, like 2 o'clock usually. No, actually it was around 1. I think it was like 1:20 or something. It was like weird times. I would be done school and I would just like go home and like chill or go to the pool or something. I love that it's called victory laps. We would just get called being held back a year. We finished high school at 15, 16. Oh wow, that's young. That's cool. So couldn't really just sign ourselves out. I think it's interesting that every place has like a different age that they graduate, or like school works really different. I think that's interesting. The school systems are really different all over the world. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, I think we're it's usually 17, it's usually 17, but sometimes people are 18, like just depending on when your birth date was or when you like went to school, basically. It's kind of interesting. But it's usually not by a lot. It's usually, the most it can usually be is like 9 months that someone is older. We gotta get rid of some of this dirt. It was kind of funny though. High school was so interesting. I wasn't a person who hated high school, chat, but it wasn't like I think what I loved was the classes I chose to take, which I liked school because I chose to take classes I really enjoyed. Like making movies, and like I called it YouTube class, it was called communications technology. Now it's called media something. But like I only know because Max was like showing me what the classes were and I was like, oh, they changed the name of it. It's called media something. But it was basically YouTube school. Like everything that I do except for the streaming was probably my biggest learning curve. I had to teach myself. I pretty much learned how to edit, make thumbnails, how to do like all kinds of stuff. And like, I learned all of it in high school. I didn't go to college or anything. I just learned how to do everything in high school. Like it was kind of interesting, like how much I've learned and remembered from those high school classes. Like our final ISU, like independent study unit, we had to make groups, and we had to, for this particular class, we had to make a movie and like use like special effects and stuff. And we had to work on it for, I think it was like a month and a half. We had to write a script, do storyboarding. We had to get props, make props. We had to do audio recording. We had to do, so like everything that I do to make YouTube videos as an example, I just learned it in that class. It was like YouTube school. That's what I called it. Because it was like, I was just learning how to do stuff that I just do all the time now. A lot of people after school will go to college or 6th from college for 2/3 or more years. Oh, but you only study 1 to 3 things, and then after that you can go to university. Oh, really? So that's really different. Here it's like university or college. Like it's not, so like in high school, so here in high school you have to start taking classes at different, not necessarily difficulty levels, but like you have they call it applied, or they did, I don't know if they've even changed it at this point, but they called it applied, which was just college courses, like prerequisites. Like you have to take this, so like you have to take this carpentry class so you can take this course inside of college, right? Or if you, and it would be called applied, which was or college level. And then they would have academic, which was university level. Like for example, I took applied Englishes and stuff because I knew I was probably not going to go to university for anything. Of anything, it would have been college if I went. But college is expensive. and I could never just settle on, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And so I took all applied, like English, for example, and math, but there was academic, which would have just been the university level. So if I, for example, can't go to university because I didn't take those prerequisites. Do you know what I mean? It's pretty, I'm pretty sure that's how it works from everything that like I know. So I would only be eligible based on like what I took in high school to go to college because I took applied. But you know what was really stupid about the school system here? Is if you took applied courses, people treated you like you were stupid, which was rude. Like, yes, there was more troubled kids in applied level classes because the workload wasn't as heavy. That was basically the biggest difference. Some books you didn't study, like some Shakespeare stuff we didn't do compared to academic kids, and academic kids were treated like they were smarter and better than us. And like I remember teachers would always be like, why are you in applied? You should be in academic. And I was like, do you see how much homework they get? And I don't think I'm going to university. Like, why would I go and do that? Why would I go take a course with like so much more work when I know I'm like, I don't really, of anything, I would be going to college if I went to secondary or to more schooling. And they always used to be like, I was like, dude, I literally would just be like, I don't want more homework. I'm fine. Like, it's fine. But they would basically, they were like, you're too smart to be in applied. And I was like, that's so stupid. It's literally just the college level of courses. Like, why are you making kids feel like they're stupid? Do you know what I mean? Or like if you told an academic kid, oh yeah, I'm in applied, they'd be like, oh. Max is, yeah, it's so stupid, isn't it? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's literally just it's just the college level of the course. I don't understand. It's so rude. I hated that, and I still hate that. If people, do they still do that, Max? It was so stupid. It would give all of the academic kids like a superiority complex. They would think they're better just because they were in that class. Not as much? Okay. It was really bad when I was in high school. Like, you would literally, like, I remember lots of times in classes where, like, gym, for example, where there is no academic or university, it was just gym class, there would be like other girls and they're like, oh, what are you in? Like, oh, I have English. Yeah. And they'd be like, but are you applied or academic? I'm like, oh, applied. And they'd be like, oh. I'm like, the hell, girl, you better chill out. I bet you're not even gonna go to university. Like, I bet you're not. Like, most of you are just gonna end up in college. Like, unless you have a very specific thing. I knew a girl chat that wanted to be a news anchor. I don't know if I'll see her one day on this TV. I know she went to the thing she wanted to go to. She went to the university. She actually went to university. She went to university and she, as far as I had last heard, she was like doing the course and everything. So we'll see. Me and her, we used to, we were in communications technology because that's what she had to take to become a news anchor. That was the required course. And we would make so many basically skits that you would see on YouTube for class. That's essentially what that class was. We made so many funny videos. Oh my goodness. We made stuff making fun of, like, we both watched Pretty Little Liars, but we both were aware Pretty Little Liars wasn't even that good of a show, so we would make fun of it. And we would, it was so funny. I don't get why they don't just teach everyone at the same level and then let people choose what they want to do afterwards, right? Like, I don't understand the difference. It was stupid. That whole, like, or why even call it applied and academic? Why don't you just call it college and university? That's what it is. If you have to have 2 levels, like, I'm taking college level math, I'm taking university level, like, I don't know. It was just, there was this really weird vibe if you were in applied, that you were like this bad kid and that you were like lazy or you were stupid, and that was not true. I was like, that was just, there were some super studious people that I was friends with in applied. Yes, there were way more shenanigans that went on, like, but it was kind of funny, like the kids who, you know, I don't want to be here, I don't want to work, I didn't bring a pencil, I didn't, like, yeah, that's fine. Those kids, they had stuff going, I like know for a fact most of them had stuff going on in their lives, like, you know, with their home life or something, and they probably were just acting out because they're at school, bro. They don't want to do this. They have all these other big things going on in their life that they're so young to be dealing with. And like, I'll tell you for a fact, chat, this guy who was an absolute stoner, this guy came to school high every single day. His eyes, I had never seen white. They were red every single time. This guy, I don't even know if this guy's alive because I don't remember him being in graduation, chat. He didn't come back after grade 11. And we had this thing where you have to pass this, there's like certain English tests and certain math tests that everyone has to pass, no matter what level you're in. Everyone takes the same test, which is, isn't that interesting, chat? You have applied and academic students taking the same test in the entire like country and level, like matching them with each other, but you're treating them like applied to stupid people. Like, I don't understand that. It was so stupid. Me and the academic kids that were my friends were taking the same exact test. And I did better than them on it, so haha. Applied means nothing. I don't know why they made it. See? You see how triggered I'm getting, chat? You see how upset I'm getting about because you know why? You know why it makes me upset? Because yes, a lot of the kids in applied had hard home lives and they were very distracted when they were at school because they're dealing with all this crazy stuff at home, right? Yes, a lot of them were kids from, you know, different family situations, and that put like stress on them. So then for them to already have these issues and then come to school and be told you're not as good as these kids is stupid, and I don't like that at all. I hate that. Those kids were already down and then you're pushing them down more because they what, have less homework? Like, how honestly different could it be when we all took the same literacy tests and math tests for the flipping, like how different could it be? I was so mad. I was mad in high school, and I'm as an adult, and knowing that and how much that could affect those kids, because at the time I wasn't as aware of that. Now being aware of that, I'm even more pissed, chat. I'm so mad at that. What kind of school system does that? Okay, I'm done. I'm done being mad now. No, I'm not, but I'm just gonna stop talking about it because I'm so mad. That's so stupid. We would have higher and lower level tests in high school, and if you were in a lower set, you would take the easier test, but the highest grade you could get was a C. What? Which is a pass mark, but if you get a high score, you could resit it and do the higher level test to see if you get a higher grade. What? Bro, why is everything all over the place with school? I'm not dumb. You're not dumb, Max. I don't think anyone in applied is dumb. You're just taking a college level course. It's just a different level. The biggest difference I could see between my homework and the work I was doing compared to my friends in academic is they had a backpack full of homework every day and I didn't. I had like half a backpack of work. Like, that was the biggest difference. And they read Hamlet and we didn't. We just read Macbeth, and we read Of Mice and Men, and we read stuff about a lot of stuff about genocide. We actually, for some reason, learned more about genocides and war, to the point where I think it was too much. Like, as an adult, I think that was way too much. It was so depressing. But like, the academic kids didn't learn about that, which I thought was interesting. And Of Mice and Men, yeah, Of Mice and Men was pretty good. We read it and we watched the movie after we read it. And like, and another difference, you know, Spark Notes, chat? It's like where you read the version of Macbeth that's written in like Old English, and then you have on the side it'll have it written in like more modern English. We as applied kids were given those books, but academic kids didn't. I didn't read the part that was written. Like, I read Old English. I was like, I'm just gonna read the Old English one. So stuff like that. Same, I will fight Curly's wife. Curly's wife needs to chill out. Curly's wife needs to chill out. Yeah, and we read books about like this girl got like in an accident, and then this kid who like was the reason she got in the accident. It was like, I don't remember what that one was called, Unbreakable or something. We read a lot of different books and stuff, but they were different than the ones that they read. Like, they read Macbeth, and they did read Macbeth. I think they read 2 more Shakespeare plays books than we did. And they weren't allowed to have Spark Notes, but I didn't ever use them anyway. It was just, I don't know. I like knew what it was saying, but some kids needed it, and I understand that. Like, you need help, bro. I don't know. Okay, I feel like we should cook this. I feel like that's the vibe with what we're doing at the place. But we can't do that. We're gonna have to get some lava. Where did I just put all those cans? Did I put them in the other one? Oh, maybe I put them in the other one. I don't know, man. That triggers me, man. Those kids already had no confidence. And they were fine. Most of them went to college anyway. Just like, who cares? Oh my god, we didn't have anything explaining the Old English thing because we did Romeo and Juliet. Yeah, they also did Romeo and Juliet. I wanted to do more Shakespeare, and they're like, oh, it's because you're in applied. They're like, you should go to academic. I'm like, I could just read them. I could just read them in my own time. I was like, I'd rather do that than go take it. Like 3 times between the age of 11 and 15. So they probably thought we had figured it out. Oh, okay. Oh my god, it's dark. What is that noise? What animal is that? Oh, no, no, no! I panicked. I panicked, chat. I panicked. It's okay, it did... I, for some reason, thought I saw another one. It did barely any damage. We're good. We good. Okay, let's go get more of this stuff. I need lava. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. High school was interesting. The mandatory classes were boring. You know, science was fine. I liked learning. I just liked learning new things, chat. So, like, science was fine, even though my science teacher didn't like me. I don't know why. I did all my work, but it's fine. I passed the class like a 90, so I was fine. I was like, I don't care as long as I pass this class. And I passed my house because I'm not paying attention. I think my favorite class was probably like yearbook, because that teacher, chat, you know, there's like a big difference when teachers respect their students. Like, there's a mutual respect, right? It's not like, I'm the teacher, I'm the adult, you're a child, you're dumb, listen to me, I give the work out. Because I've had teachers like that. This teacher, she was so nice, chat. She would talk to us and be like, what's going on in your life? Like, what's up? Because she ran yearbook like it was like working at a newspaper company. That's what it felt like. So we would, like, you would get assigned, like, certain articles to write about certain things for this yearbook. We ended up, as apparently, I don't know this, but I've heard since then we were the best class she had ever had because we produced the best yearbook, and we did it under a strike, which was insane. So our deadlines kept getting moved, and there were certain sports not being played because there was strikes, but we still were managed to put out papers, like make it look like we had a normal school year. The yearbook is insane. And it was super fun. And like we had like jobs, like we had like everyone came together and discussed ideas of like the theme of the yearbook. She gave us little gifts, like little pins and stuff. We had like press badges when we would go to events to show them, yeah, I'm with the press or whatever, like I'm with the yearbook, I'm here to take pictures, I'm allowed to go on the trip, all that stuff. And we would, you know, go take pictures of like basketball and like all these different sports, like girls and boys basketball, and like because there was like girls and boys teams for like everything. It was so fun. I love that class. And it felt like it got to the point where Chad, she barely had to talk to us. We would all walk in, know what we had to do for the day. We all knew what we set for ourselves. And after the first week, Chad, 3 people were kicked out of the class because they just couldn't do it, right? Like you have to be very independently. Oh, I know I need to go talk to I don't know, we'll make up a name, Jessica. I have to go talk to Jessica today because I'm the person who backs up the photo. Like my job in that class chat was to back up all the photos on the hard drive for the entire year. So if we needed something or someone deleted something, we always had an archive. And that was my job. My job was to make sure every photo in that yearbook was backed up and saved in case. So every time I had to keep track of everyone's schedule when they had to go shoot an event, and I had to make sure I went to them the next day to get their photos. They hated it because I would be like, hi, sorry, I need your thing, I need to get the photos, and like, but I was on it every time. And she said I was one of the best ones she ever had because it didn't get corrupted, because she said that's happened where we lost all the photos. She's like, they were missing years, and she's like, well, you never missed one event, you did every single event. And she's like, and a lot of people were like that in that class, like a lot of people, she's like, all of you have done this top tier version. She's like, I wish I could have this class work on it every single year, because she's like, you guys literally were the most responsible students I've ever had. And 3 people got cut, and 2 people almost got cut halfway through the year because they were just not doing it. But it was just so nice. It was such a nice feeling of independence in that class, and like trust from her to us, and she just respected us and talked to us like people. And that's what I love. She was my favorite teacher because she just had this professionalism about her that I literally have never seen in a teacher before, and I haven't seen since then. That sounds like a fun experience. Yeah, yearbook was my favorite class. That was just like, I loved it. You would write articles, and you would have your editor. So people were given jobs. Like I don't remember what it was called, but I was like the one who backed up the stuff. We had an editor, we had a head editor, we had a director. Like everyone was assigned jobs based on like votes and stuff in the beginning of the class. And then it was literally like running a newspaper chat. It was insane. We had to go get interviews. It was insane. But yeah, and like you would like, sometimes you didn't even put together the page you were assigned to. Like I was assigned to a sport, and I took all the photos and I wrote the article and got interviews, and then they had to check all my citation, make sure everyone's names are there, make sure everyone's accurately depicted. Like you're saying, oh yeah, that is James or whatever in the photo, or that is Charlie, you know, make sure your names are right, all that stuff. It was insane. I love this game. Could never get into the Xbox version though. Yeah, I'm playing on PC. It's just the Bedrock edition. I'm playing on my Realm. Sorry, Chad, I'm behind. I went on to do English language at 6th from college, and we had to do the Canterbury Tales. Oh, okay. I've heard of that, which is way older than Shakespeare and so hard to understand. I did a foundation level production course before I went to uni, and we had to work just like an actual company and actually got to have proper press accreditation. I hope I said that right. And local events we would cover. I felt well important. Yeah, that's like how, yeah, it felt like you were important, and and it was also crazy. That sounds like it was also crazy because she very much at the beginning of the year was like, you guys have to remember, like you are making something that these people are going to look back to remember. Like, you're making something very important to some people. Like, some people's yearbooks are super important because it has all their friends in it. It's like, oh, look at that, remember that event, oh, remember that girl, like, or remember that person, like, remember how nice they were, or remember like that drama, or whatever they're looking at it for. They're gonna show their kids, they're gonna show family members. Like, this is their memories. You're like encasing their memories in here and giving it to them. And that's how she explained it to us the first like day of class. She's like, this is an important job. She's like, this isn't like a normal class. She's like, you guys have essentially been hired to do a job. And she's like that's what she said. And honestly, chat, I was scared the first day that I was there, because she's like, and people will be cut this week that I see not doing things, or like that I don't think is going to be beneficial to the team. Because if one person didn't do their job, chat, the whole thing fell apart, because everyone just worked in tandem constantly. We had tech people, like, it was insane, but it was so fun. That was my favorite class. And then at the end of the year, we had this physical book, and watching people like buy the book, chat, and look through it was so rewarding. Like, just seeing other people being happy with what we made was so nice. It was literally so nice. And like, the staff were like, you know, this is like the nicest one that you guys have produced. It was crazy. It was crazy. I loved it, chat. I wish I took it because I took it when I was graduating, but I really, really wish I took it in grade 11 and 12, but I wasn't sure. I just took in grade 12 because I had taken photography in 11 specifically. And I was like, I really loved it. That's actually what I was gonna do, chat. That's what I went from kindergarten, or like, not even kindergarten, but like grade 3 down, grade 1 down, like teacher, like of small children, and then daycare, and then carpentry, and then auto. But I got too scared to take auto because it was all men in that class, and they freaked me out because they were super like vocal. You know when they're vocal, chat, where they're like, they'll just say weird stuff to you. It just made me uncomfortable. So I wish I took it, but I didn't take auto. And then I switched to photography, and then it was going to be stage acting. But then I don't know. I wasn't sure, but I wanted to do stage acting. It was like photography and stage acting. And then I graduated, and then like my life went all crazy, and nothing ever happened. But now I'm making videos and doing stuff, which I have a good time doing. So I'm fine. But it's kind of interesting. A life takes you all over. But I wanted to do so many different things. Our school just got some random company to make our yearbook, and it was so bad. Half the pictures had wrong names under them. Yeah, like, I feel like having the students in the school making it puts a life into it that like some company can't do, right? And we covered like everything, chat. Like, if there was, we called it spirit days, like a day where you dress up in your pajamas and stuff. We covered all of it. Every single thing that happened, someone was covering it that day. It was insane. I was the only girl in one of my classes in college, and it was the worst. It's just the worst, because then all the dudes who are like weird, it's not like every dude, but you know, the dudes who are weird, who will be like yeah, like, I don't know. The ones who will, how are you in my house? The ones who will bother you, do you know what I mean? The ones who will be like super strange. It's the ones who will okay, like there was this guy in high school, chat, who was like, I don't know honestly to this day if this guy actually liked me or if he was making fun of me. I can never tell. I can never tell if someone's actually being nice to me, chat, or if they're making fun of me, to be honest. It's kind of bad. And I just get super scared because I can't tell. I just assume they're making fun of me. But this guy would like yell, and I've had a couple experiences like this with even like not teenage like boys, like older dudes. Like when I used to work at this other place, I was harassed by this guy. I don't know, I have weird interactions with other humans, chat. Weird interactions with other humans. But this guy would like he would like yell at me across the like, it's the kind of guys who like want to make you, I don't know if they want to make you blush, or they want a reaction from you. So in front of the whole class or everyone there, they'll do something over the top and it's embarrassing. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it. It's like Like this guy one time, I don't even remember what we were saying, but he was going back and forth and he was trying to make me look kind of dumb, I guess. And I stood up and I like reacted to what he said. And I remember making a joke about something about him. And it was like a little jab, but it wasn't like, it was like a playful jab. I wasn't trying to be mean to him. I just wanted him to stop doing it in front. So I thought if I did something or said something where all his friends sitting there would be like, oh dude, he would leave me alone. Turns out some guys think that's funny, chat, and they'll keep doing it. But for this specific day, it worked, and he left me alone the rest of the day and I could just do work. I just wanted to do my schoolwork. And even the teacher was like, okay, class, okay. Like, you know when that happens. Chat, I really wish I could remember to tell you what we were talking about, but I have no idea what in the world we were talking about. I just remember whatever I said, he just like mouth open, stopped, and he blushed, and then everyone else was like laughing, and then he didn't do, in that specific class, he didn't do it ever again. But like guys like that, when where they'll like be very loud or something at you. So I was like, imagine this happened in a class where there were 2 other girls beside me. There was only 3 of us in that class. If I was the only person in auto and some of his friends were there, I was like, dude, I just didn't have it in me, chat. I wasn't strong enough. There was one girl who ended up going in there, and I was like, that girl's so cool. She literally went in there. She went and took auto anyway. I was like, that girl's so cool. Oh man, our trees are broken. But yeah, it's kind of wild. It was literally constant harassment and either just say awful crap to me or tell me that they're in love with me. And I was like, nah, what the F? Yeah, it's super weird. It's like, can you just have a normal conversation? I'm just a person in this class. Like, super strange. When I was, so now like when I was older and I was working at this place I was working at, there was this guy, and some people said he was on some medications, and sometimes if he didn't take them, he would be like really, like he would act strange. No one really told me like what he was on or what was going on, but some people had told me that because they had issues with him before, but he apparently was never reprimanded. And so he eventually was working near my department all of a sudden for this summer. And I was like, oh, this guy's here. Like, okay, I'm just gonna keep working. And then he started like talking to me all the time. And I was nice, chat. I'll just talk. I'll be nice. I was like, hey, what's up? Like, da da da. And I guess I don't know if people just didn't talk to him, but we need to get some lava. I guess he thought I was interested in him, but I was just like, chat, this is what I would talk about him with. Hey, how are you today? Oh yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Okay, yeah, cool. That's good. That's the extent of me having a conversation with him, unless he would ask me questions like, oh, you live with your family, bruh? I'm like, hey, I don't think you need to know that. I think you need to do whatever it is your job is to do, and just don't talk to me because I'm also doing my job and I don't want to talk to you. But I'd be like, yeah, you know this or da-da. He'd be like, how old are you? And one day, chat, this man, everyone in this department, chat, was about my age, okay? It was a lot of girls were in this department. We had like one dude working in that department who was a bit older than us. He was like almost 30. And the rest of us were like 19 years old, okay? And we were all like the same age, which was interesting. And this guy, chat, was near our department, and he comes up to us one day and he's like, chat, and I'm dead serious, this happened. He walks up to us and goes, hey, my son was like asking for a new baby, like a sibling, like any of you want to have a kid with me? And chat, he was dead serious. This man was dead serious, coming and asking these 19-year-olds, hey, you want to have my baby? Because my baby from my first relationship, which he wasn't in anymore, like my kid wants a sibling. I'm looking for someone to have a kid with. I was like, what the? I was like, dude, excuse me? First of all, we're at work and this is inappropriate. And second of all, why are you just asking people, like just random people, if you can have a baby with them? Holy God. Chat, I was like, this man's not real. Like this, I thought he was joking at first. And I was like, I like looked at my coworkers and they looked at me like, he is dead serious. Like this guy's like this. It's like, what What the frick? He straight up asked if we would have his baby, and we were like, no. And so the other girl said no, chat, and he seemed to be fine with that. But when I said no, he started asking if it's because he was white, okay, because I'm mixed. And I was like, no, it's not because you're white, it's because I don't know you. And I was like, and I don't want to have a baby with you. I was like, what do you mean? And he's so loud, so he's making a scene, and there's like shoppers, chat, there's shoppers around us, and I'm like, okay, dude, shut up, stop it. Like, we're not having this conversation, and it's not because you're white, it's because I literally don't know you and I don't want to have a baby with you. Leave me alone. I'm just trying to get the bag. I'm trying to work here. It was so weird, bro. We need more stuff. This man straight up asked me, like, holy chat, I literally can't even breathe. Like, thinking about it now, I can't even understand. There was one girl or I guess I say woman in there. Well, I guess we were all technically women, we're all adults, but like, I felt like we were a bunch of kids. But like, one of the people in there, she was like, I can just take from anywhere in here. She was older, she had like a family and stuff. She was like in her like early 30s. And she was like, oh my gosh, guys, she's like literally don't give him the attention or he's gonna keep coming back. And she was like trying to take care of us. You missed all of it, bro. You missed such a good story, Rochelle. Okay, I'll try and tell it again. So I worked at this place with a bunch of these young girls, mostly young, they're all my age. And there was like one woman who was like early 30s and one guy who was his late 30s, and that was it. It was a small department in this place. And there was this guy who worked in the store, not in our department, in the store, who like was super weird and I had problems with. And I was, okay, so I was giving an example of kind of like how this guy is. Because we're talking about guys who are loud or like kind of just like, what is going on? Do you know how to talk to a person? Not just a woman, a person. Like, this is crazy. So this guy had to work near our department for a bit in the summer once, and he literally, I was always nice, right, Chad? I would talk and be nice, but it's not like I would go out of my way to have conversations with him. So I would be like, hi, how are you today? Oh, that's nice. Because he would stare at us, chat. He would stare at us, and it was so uncomfortable. All of us girls complained because he was making us uncomfortable, because he would just stare at us the whole time, and he's not even barely doing the job he was supposed to be there for. And this guy, chat, so I was giving an example of one time he walks up to us. We're all like 19-year-old girls, and he walks up to us and he goes, hey, like, my kid, his kid from this earlier relationship he had, my kid wants a sibling, and so I'm just wondering if like any of you want to have a baby with me so I can give him a sibling. And chat, he was dead serious. Like, he's serious, chat. He was serious. He literally asked a bunch of us, of 19-year-olds, will you have a baby with me because my kid wants a sibling? And we were like, no. All the other two girls said no, and he left them alone. And then I said no. And I don't know if he thought he had a chance with me for some flipping reason. Maybe because I was nice to him. Some of the girls just stopped answering him when he would try and talk to them because he was so loud. And chat, mind you, there is people shopping around us. Like, there are customers like looking at us like, what is going on? And I'm looking at them like, I don't know, call the police. like I don't know what's happening. And then so they said no, no, and then I said no, and he goes, why is it because I'm white? And he yells it in the store, and then all these people are looking, and he said that, I don't know if it's because I'm mixed, if that's why he said that. And I was like, no, it's not because you're white, it's because I don't want to have a baby with you. I barely know you, and I'm not having a baby with you. Like, I don't know what this conversation is. And he's like, oh yeah, I bet it's because I'm white. And he like, I was like, no, dude, it's literally not. It got so bad, chat, that the guy who was like almost 30 working there, he ended up, I told him, like, he could see he wouldn't leave me alone. And they're like, why won't he leave you alone? I'm like, I don't know. I don't even talk to this guy. I just have this always happens to me since I was in high school. Like, the weird dudes will just not leave me alone. And I'm just trying to live. I'm trying to work. Oh my god, cringe. It's not because you're white, it's because you're a creep. Yeah, I was like, dude, it's not because I don't care if you're white. What the frick kind of, what is that? It's like, dude, you're so messed up. Apparently he was on, people told me he was on meds. I don't know why, they didn't tell me why, but I was like, and apparently they said if he doesn't take it, he would get like that with people. Like, he would asphyxiate on people, and then like just harass them essentially. He followed me to my car once, chat, and it was night. I worked like late, and he followed me to the car, and I was like, holy, I'm gonna die in the back of this building. I was like, the man's following me. So, yeah, but it got bad where actually the guy who worked with me, I told him he was making me so uncomfortable because he could see when he would come, I would get very anxious and jumpy, and I'd be very quiet. And he was like, is he making you really uncomfortable? And this guy had younger sisters that were actually around my age as well. So I guess he kind of like understood like how uncomfortable this was making me, and he actually would start intervening one time, which was really nice of him. Like, shout out to him because he was super nice for first of all recognizing just how uncomfortable this guy was making me, and helping out. Like he would like chat one time. So one time the guy came to the counter and he's like, hey, what's up, like blah blah blah, and he's like, go, and I'm like, hey, how are you? Like, I'm trying to be polite, and I just looked at my coworker like I'm, you know, like I'm uncomfortable and I don't want him here. I was like the third time he was there that day. He would come and ask for money out of the till, chat. He'd be like, hey, can you give me money? I'm like, for freaking what? He's like, front end does it for me all the, like the front of the building people, they do it for me all the time. I'm like, what, give you money out of the till? I'm like, I'm not doing that. What the, why don't you go ask someone else, bro? He's like, come on, it's me. And I'm like, I'm not your friend. I work here. Like, he's wild, and this guy was crazy. I actually ended up, so here's the thing, chat. I ended up reporting him because when he followed me to my car, I was like, that's it. This man is, you know what? It's one thing if he's like in the building and whatever, and I have my coworker with me, because my coworker one time, he was making me uncomfortable, and my coworker, he's like leaning all the way over the counter too. Like I'm standing my back as far as I can from the counter, and he's leaning all the way over it to try and be as close to me as possible. And so my coworker noticed this happen, and he stood between me and the counter and the guy and slammed. This guy was tall. He was like 6 something. Like, he was a big dude. And he slammed his hands down on the counter, like spread apart, to like completely block me from his view. He's like, all right, man, can I help you with something? Like, what are you doing back here? And he was like, oh, sorry, bro. I was just getting some stuff, you know? And he's like, all right, well, I'll see you later. And he like says bye to me, and I was just like, hey, I was like, see you later. Like, and then I was like, thanks, bro. Like, and he's like, yeah, if you ever need me to like deal with him, he's like, I will deal with him, because he's like, that he's being so inappropriate with you. And so it was like after that, and after the car thing, and after, oh, there's this one other thing he did, chat. You want to know this other thing he did? So the car thing happened, and then the next day I was talking to my coworkers. I was like, girls, has he done this to you? Like, you know, and they're like, no, after that baby thing, he stopped talking to us. And I was like, well, why is he still talking to me? Spill the tea. I was like, why is he talking to me? They're like, I don't know, that's weird. So one time, I'm working with my male coworker again. Me and him did a lot of closes together, which was actually fun, because he said he used to work at Ubisoft. So we talked about video games all day. And we were super chill. We were like really like good friends when I was working there. We would just hang out and chat about, oh, 1 second, I don't know what this is. Why does my playlist go into some random songs that are not on my playlist, and it's always copyrighted music, and I don't know why it's doing that. We're just gonna change the playlist. That's so annoying. Sorry, chat. I just heard music that is not music I should have been playing. Okay, so I was like, so I'm working with him. I'm working on the other side. There's like different like counters and stuff between what we were working on. It was like a photo thing, and so he's on the computer on the other side, so me and my coworker like can see face to face, because he's on one side on the computer, and on the other side I'm working on this machine thing. And the guy comes up from behind me, and I'm like, oh my, I can hear him, because he will yell, chat. He will yell when he's 80 feet away from me, so the whole building can hear him. He'll be like, hey, girl, what's up? That's what he would do. He would yell at me. And I was like, you freaking stop yelling at me. I'm not talking to you. Like, but I would be polite, because I'm just polite. And I'd be like, hey, what's up? Like, okay, how are you? That's cool. And then I'll try to keep just working, head down, and keep working. So this time, this is the day after the car, and I was telling my coworker, and he's like, dude, you have to report him because that's really bad. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to. I had talked to the other girls that were there earlier, and I was like, he's not doing it to them, he's just targeting me. And I was like, I'm not dealing with this. He's like, nah. He's like, if he comes today, I'll intervene. But he got busy doing something on the computer. So at this particular time, oh no. No, 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 no. Look, this man almost killed me in Minecraft. I'm upset. Sorry, chat. Okay. So he comes up behind me, and my coworker's busy. Can't help me. I'm like, dang it. I keep looking over at him, and he's busy. And so he's like, hey, what's up, girl? What are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm just like working on this thing. He's like, oh, that's cool. And this time, chat, he's leaning over the door. You know, like the swinging doors? They have them like in every store, like Walmart and everywhere. It's like a swinging door for employees to get in the thing. He's like hanging over it, like leaning on it. And he's, chat, I'm dead serious. He's looking at me like this. And when you see the emoji tongue pop out, he's licking his teeth and lips at me, chat. It was so uncomfortable. He's like, I can't even do it because of the emoji. But just imagine a gross dude just licking up his lips, and it was disgusting. And he's hanging over it like super weird and like leaning into the department. And I was like, oh my, I was like, that's it. Like in my mind, I was like, he's reported, he's done. I literally can't deal with this. I want them to just have him stop talking to me. And I was like, just being polite. And that day I had to go home because we were having a get together. And I had to pick up a pie or something. And so I think he saw the pie. I had it on the counter because I was about to be done. I was like 30 minutes from the end of my shift. Of course he had to roll up. And he's like, oh, is this your pie? And I was like, yeah, it's just, you know, a thing for the fam. I gotta go soon. He's like, oh, you're leaving soon? And I was like, okay. And in my head, I'm like, dude, I shouldn't have told him I'm leaving. What if he goes to the parking lot and he gets me? And I was like, yeah, you know, I'm just gonna go. And I was like, I think I made up a thing like someone was gonna be with me because I was scared of him, chat. I was so scared he was gonna get me. And I was like, yeah, but you know, they're gonna pick me up. I think I told him someone was gonna pick me up, which wasn't true. I was gonna go and drive home. But chat, I had to be safe. This man could attack me. This man followed me to the car last night. And so I was like, yeah, you know, and I'm looking at my coworker, and my coworker's busy helping someone, and he can't come help me at this moment. And then he's licking his lips. He's like, maybe I should come and meet your family. And he's just like licking his lips, chat, like looking at me like I'm a freaking steak. And I was like, all right. I was like, you know, I was like, nah, I don't think that's good. I actually have to go to the washroom. I gotta go. And I just removed myself from the situation. And when I came back, I felt like crying. And my coworker was like, he's like, I'm so sorry, I had to help thing. He's like, I saw him licking his lips and stuff. I'm not a steak. I'm not a steak. Okay. I'm not a steak. And I told him, it's like, yeah, he was licking his lips and stuff. He's like, that's it. He's like, he wanted to go fight him, chat. He's like, you want me to go beat him up or something? I was like, no, that's like so unnecessary. I just want him to stop talking to me. I don't even want him to lose his job. I just wanted them to move him in the store, and I wanted them to watch him in case he did that to other people, because I knew he was doing it to other people and they weren't reporting him. So I reported him, chat. The next day when I had come into work, he made a mistake. The next day, I went into work and I reported him. I told my family when I came home that he did that, and the guests were like, oh my gosh, that's atrocious. I told them how he asked me to have a child with him. And chat, it was multiple times. It wasn't that one time when I said no and he said, is it because I'm white? He did it multiple times. He kept coming and asking me to have a kid with him. And it was super annoying. And so I went to a manager, right, of the building, and I said, hey, can I talk to you? And they're like, oh, is it serious? And I was like, yeah, it's really serious. And I said, I actually wanted the other girls to go with me and explain how they were also feeling harassed, because he kept coming and also talking to them, but he was targeting me out of all of them more. And they like had the vibe where they didn't want to go, and it seems like they felt like it was going to stir the pot. Do you know what I mean? Like I understood that they could be nervous about it, but I was like, heck no, no one treats me that way, and no one's putting me in danger like that. I'm gonna go and talk. All I wanted was him just to be moved. Like, I just didn't want him hanging out near my department because he was making me uncomfortable. I didn't want him fired. I just wanted him to stop talking to me. And so I go and talk to this manager, and chat, this manager goes, So I told him it's a sensitive thing. It's about this person. He's like, oh, that guy's so nice. And I was like, yeah, well, I have to tell you that he did this, followed me the car. I told him all the stories I just told you and some more, chat. There was more stories. I told him all this stuff. He goes, oh, well, you know, I have a sister. So, you know, I really care about this. I care about, like, I understand, right? That's what this manager says to me. I have a sister. I understand. Yeah. After I explained it all, he goes, he just likes you. Chat, I just explained the behavior I just explained to you to this man who went, yeah, I have a sister and everything, I understand. And his response to me is, oh, he just likes you. And I was like, oh, and I said, he likes me enough to follow me to my car. And when I said that, chat, because you know, I have the anxiety, but when people push me or do something that stupid, my internal thing will come out. I can't help the sass that'll happen. And I was like, oh yeah, he likes me enough to follow me to my car at night. And then I just looked at him like, you're the dumbest person I've talked to. And his whole thing changed. And then his face went from haha like this to, okay, well, you know what we'll do is have a meeting. We're not going to single him out or anything. And I'm thinking, you need to. It's past the point. This man followed me to my car. It's past the point where you just have a friendly meeting with everyone and make a general statement. You actually have to go talk to this man and tell him to leave her alone. But I was like, okay, fine. And he's like, if it escalates anymore, I'm like, anymore? What? Like he gets in the car with me? Oh, he gets in the car and I get assaulted. That's great. Is that where you wanted to escalate to? The man already is comfortable enough to follow me to my damn car. And he wasn't even leaving. His shift wasn't even over, chat. He left his shift to follow me to the car. And then he was talking to me at the car and I just got in the car. I locked the door. Holy hell, chat. I was like, oh my gosh. I was so mad. So I said, fine, you can do that. But I was like, I don't want this to escalate. And he's making other girls at where I am working uncomfortable. He's making us all uncomfortable. And I was like, but he's singling me out. He's asking me to have kids with him. And I was like, you know, and I was like, customers can hear this. Customers can hear him having these stupid conversations with me. Oh, I didn't want to make that. And he's like, oh, okay, I'll talk to him because he's a good guy. And I was like, yeah, I don't want anything to happen. I just want him to leave me alone. I just want the man to leave me alone. So after that, they just moved him from my area. But that was like the response I got, chat. The response was, oh, he just likes you. I was like, I went one time, chat, to this. I told him this too. I went to sign in for work. You had to go swipe. So I went to swipe. And as I'm walking through the front of the building, which is where most of the people are like checking out, he's working, chat. He's working, begging, and he yells at me and goes, hey girl, looking real good. During work, I swiped and I'm walking to my department and this man is yelling at me while he's working. Like, I can't believe it. I can't even believe it. I can't even believe it, chat. Oh my gosh. That was wild. And I don't know, throw the man in the sea. I don't know, man. Fire the day manager. I think he's still a manager there. I don't even know. I'm not even near where that is anymore, but like, I don't know. That place was wild. I got threatened by an HR manager once. He's fired. He was moved. Not because of me, but just he had a lot of stuff going on. So he no longer works there. But that place was bad. And my manager there was the worst. He was like sexually harassing us. He would like, the department was small and he would like move ways to touch us, chat. Like, and all of us girls gave exact same stories. We were like, hey, do you notice that he does this? And we all were like, yeah, you know, you're working and he says he has to reach for something, but he touches your back hip, right? Or like your butt or like your back thigh. And he goes, oh, sorry, it's small in here. But it's not, because our other male coworker never, we ended at that point, we had 2 male coworkers. Neither of us, them ever touched us, ever. We all said like, yeah, they've never touched us. They have reached in front of us, because you have to reach, if you're helping a customer, they're beside you and they have to reach, you know, they're like, oh, sorry. And then you step back and they reach. This guy would just reach and he would try and get a little touch. He was the worst. And he still works there, unfortunately. I tried to report him and stuff. I don't know if he has friends, but nothing happened for him. I tried to get him, chat. He would like penalize us. And this man, chat, he would go sleep in the car during his, sends me sick. I have a temper. That man would have broken my jaw, or that man would have had a broken jaw. Yeah, it was pretty, that's why I quit. And I put in my quit letter, it was because of all that stuff, and it was because of him. And I think they actually threw it out, because that was when that guy, that HR manager that I told you about, that also like threatened my job, like flipping ridiculous place. But like he was still he was like just getting fired at that point, but I didn't know that, so he would have gotten what I wrote about this particular manager, and I think he threw it out. It's supposed to go to the head office of this corporation, and they're supposed to review it, because I would have left as a disgruntled employee. That's how I made it, so that, because I wanted them to fire this guy, because this guy, chat, was really bad. He would manipulate people, and he would change their schedules, and if they didn't like it, he would give them less hours because he got mad at them. Like, he would dock our hours because we listened to, I don't know, the like, you know, the woman I said who was older, had the family, she practically ran that department, and she was getting paid like us, and we're like, you should be the manager, you literally run this place. She made all the skills, she did everything, and he wouldn't promote her. He would not promote her because he liked getting the paycheck to do nothing. It was ridiculous. One time, chat, he was supposed to relieve one of us. One of us was supposed to go on break, and he was supposed to come back. He comes back 4 hours later, and so we couldn't take our break, right? Because it was so busy, we couldn't leave just one person there. That happened all the time. One person would get left, and it was so stressful, chat. I would have panic attacks. I would go to the car and have a panic attack and then come right back to work. This man was sleeping in his car. He's like, oh yeah, I fell asleep in the car, and then it was raining, so I didn't want to get out of the car. It just stopped raining, so I came back. We're like, you didn't want to walk in the rain? Are you a king? You didn't want to walk in the rain, and so now we have been working overtime, essentially, because we couldn't get our breaks, and so now, like, excuse me? You didn't want to get your hair wet? You're balding. Like, I was like, dude, chat, this man, he should have been fired, chat, because he was mistreating people. Because he was mistreating people. I don't want people to be getting fired, losing their jobs, but this guy was mistreating people and using his power of manager in a bad way, and he needed to go. I tried to get, like, report him and stuff, and he said if I get reported, like, you're not gonna have a job. Like, he would threaten us. He would threaten us. It was really bad. One girl lost it on him, and she almost fought him. I was like, girl, when she came in the next day, I'm like, you have a job? She's like, I guess. And then apparently he treated her really nice for 3 days, and then he went back to the normal way. Oh, one time, chat, I stayed late, and as a form of oh my god, my old boss would dock my hours all the time as a form of retaliation. Yeah, like, what? How are they allowed to do that? It's so stupid. One time, chat, I worked into midnight. Like, I did a shift where I worked from 11 p.m. to midnight. Sorry, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. to cover for someone because someone didn't come in, and I didn't want the morning woman to be, I didn't want her to have so much work. And so, because it would overwhelm her, because she'd be alone for the first 2 hours of work, like when the store opened by herself, and it was overwhelming because he wouldn't hire more people because he was supposed to be the one that would go with her, and he didn't want to come into work. We wouldn't see him for days sometimes. He wouldn't even deal with customer complaints, chat. He made us deal with it, and he would never be there. So we would just get yelled at and abused by customers all the time. It was so horrible. He was whack as hell. One time, chat, he gave me the phone. There's a customer yelling at him, and for something that wasn't technically our fault, so all he had to do was tell them that. But he wouldn't. He didn't want to deal with it, and he goes, I don't want to deal with this. And he handed me the phone, chat. I had been hired for a year at that point. The manager handed me the phone to deal with the angry person, and then he said, just tell them I left. And then they're yelling at me, and they started cursing at me, and I said, could you hold for a minute? And I handed him the phone, and I said, you're the manager. And I went back to working. I was like, I'm not gonna get abused on the phone. You're the one who gets the paycheck to do that, not me. I make $13 an hour. You're making like $25 an hour. You're getting paid to be yelled at. I'm not. Like, I was like, I'm not going to talk to this person on the phone. I was professional. I went through the whole thing with them, and I didn't yell at the person. And then he gets on the phone, and then they say they want my badge number and stuff because they said I was yelling at them. But all of them were there. I was not. I never yelled at a customer. I got angry at them because they were rude, but I never yelled at them. I would go to my car and cry. That's how I dealt with it. So come back. That place was a mess. I'm glad I quit from there because I hated it, dude. If a job ever gives you that much stress, chat, it is not worth it. It's really not. No matter what the paycheck is, dude, something like that is so bad for your, like, first of all, your mental health, horrible, your physical health, your safety, you know, all of that is just not it. And I learned that. I was like, you know what? I know, like, I have a paycheck. I know when the paycheck's coming. I know all this stuff. And I was like, it's just not worth it. The safety issues, them not taking my complaints seriously when it's serious. Like, this working environment is bad. And I was like, I can't do this. And it was also after the concussion. That's where I got the concussion. They were forcing me to change positions and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. And I was like, this isn't worth it. I'm leaving. I literally can't do this. I gave him 2 weeks notice and I left. I was like, I can't. I'm sorry. I know that I'm more valuable than having, like, this job. Do you know what I mean? And I'm really proud of little Tatiana for recognizing that. Or younger Tatiana for not being like, well, at least I'm getting a paycheck. Like, for recognizing that I was worth more and I didn't need to be abused by those people in management and stuff. That was ridiculous. Or being taken advantage of by even some of the people I worked with. There was one who took a lot of advantage of me. And, you know, I'm older and I learned from it. There was bad experiences, but I've learned from it. And I'm proud that I went there even though people were like, oh, maybe you shouldn't go say anything. I'm glad I went and did it anyway and stood up for myself. Even if I was threatened, I'd lose my job by the HR manager. I am glad I stood up for myself. And I will still stand up for myself. I'm not gonna get pushed around anymore. I've made that a goal since last year and stuff I've been through. I'm like, you know what, girl? You're not letting yourself get pushed around ever again. No, no, no. Sad little men given a teeny bit of power just go wild. My old boss would literally call me every day and scream at me for no reason. Excuse me? And for a couple years, after every time a phone would ring, I would jump out of my skin. Yeah, see, look, that's not worth it. It's making you have it's traumatic. It's not worth it. I have trauma from that job, a lot of it. And I gotta go to the therapist and talk about that too. That's not worth it. It's just not. We're almost done this thing. But I would always go off back at him, and when I eventually left was too much of a wimp to turn up my final shift because he knew I would have verbally destroyed him on my way out. You know what my final shift was at this place? My final shift at this place was me being alone in the building because someone said I can't come in because I'm drunk. It was this person who would take advantage. They would go and party because they knew I would cover. My last day of work there was me being with that guy, the nice guy who was older and we worked at Ubisoft at that time. It was me alone with him for a little bit. And it was like, all right, like, it was good to see you. I started to kind of cry because I liked some of the people I worked with. I really liked them. They were really cool. And I hated that I had to leave. Like, it was so sad. And I hated seeing them working in an environment like that. I really wanted to, like, cause enough of a thing when I left that they would look into that department and help them first, because they were like, we can't quit. They all said, like, we wish we could quit. Like, you're gonna be free. Like, that's how they talked about this place. You're gonna be free. And I was telling them, I'm like, this isn't worth it, but I know they had families and stuff. So I wanted to change the department, and I tried to reach out and I tried to get to head office, and they did everything they could to stop it from getting there. And some of them, as far as I know, to today, I mean, apparently that department isn't there anymore, but I don't know where they are now. That department, actually, yeah, that department's not even there anymore. But they were working there, as far as I know, up to 2020. They were still there. And I'm like, wow, all those years they've still been there and probably dealing with that. It made me sad. It made me sad to leave them there. So I was kind of crying because I felt like I couldn't change anything to help them. Because everyone up above me in the power position they were just making sure I couldn't help them, even if I left. And so he said bye, and then the person called in sick, so I stayed from 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. by myself, running the whole department alone, with no breaks, because I can't take breaks if no one's there, for the whole day. That was my last day there. And I'm gonna be honest, if anything solidified my decision, it was that day. That they could treat me like that. Not like they needed to treat me special because it was my last day, but like... Do you know what I mean, chat? It just kind of, for me, solidified why I was leaving. Like, there was no regrets. It was like, I need to leave. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that was a messy job. I'm glad I left it, chat. I never, ever, ever have been like, oh, I wish I stayed there, ever. I've never, no matter how broke I ever get, no matter how hard it's been since then, because that was the last job I ever had where I had a stable income, which was like, this was like, what, almost 5 years now? 5 years ago? I will never regret quitting. I will never regret leaving there. Leaving my toxic workplace after my last shift is actually the most euphoric feeling. I remember just feeling so free. Yeah, I felt really free. I remember driving home and I was crying, but it wasn't like really because I was sad. It was because it was like, I don't have to get up tomorrow and deal with this. I don't have to do this anymore. But then I was also feeling sad because the people that worked there, they still had to deal with it. And I felt really bad that I couldn't change it because I tried to like get a hold of them, but they're all so intertwined, the way everything was set up with that place, that like they'll cover for each other and they'll throw documents out. Oh, they went missing. It was like I couldn't even get to the head office because all of them are so much in the way. It was really bad. But you know what? I'm out. And at least I hope those people that were there, I hope they got better jobs now. I don't know because it's COVID, but I hope they're better. I hope they're better off and they're doing better than working at that place, because that was not a good place. It was a very bad place. We're almost on the entranceway. We need so much of this stuff to make this stone bricks, man. So yeah, if any of you are watching and you're working at a place that's doing anything crazy or you're being harassed, like, I know that it's scary to leave a job, but like, start looking for another one, because like, that's not going to be worth it. Like Rochelle said, like having that anxiety when your phone rings, like that's horrible for that to do that to you. It is, you are more valuable than that paycheck you're going to get. 100%. And it took me a while to realize that, and that's when I decided that I was more valuable than my paycheck and I needed to leave there. And yeah, it's been hard. I have not had a job stable like that ever since. I've had the concussion stuff to worry about, which I got from that job. I haven't got the coverage I deserved because all them people are wild, and I gotta work on that. But I don't regret it. I don't regret leaving because I know I'm gonna be better for it in the long run. Like, it could have been so unsafe. I could have been attacked. I could have been attacked in my car. Like, this manager one time also followed me outside and threatened me. Like, like, that's unsafe. That is unsafe. That is not safe. Okay, we're gonna get way more. I'm gonna empty some of my inventory and get more. We're almost done. Once we do that, we can start building stuff on top of the zoo. How much we got in here? We got some garbage. Not that one. Oh my. We're just gonna put the stuff in here for now. We'll just clean it up a little bit. Okay. Let's go back in the cave. Did you do the hunt? Yeah, we did the hunt. I think it was down here. We did do the hunt. Ferguson learned to read and write. Ferguson's unstoppable now. And we have a new addition to the museum. We have the special salmon that taught Ferguson to read and write. Woo, education. So I think we're gonna have to make the bathrooms out of something different. Because, we're gonna have to... most people at the place I worked didn't last very long, like weeks, because of how awful it was, and I ended up being there for over a year and a half. So when I left, I didn't really have any close friends left. So when I handed in my notice, my boss said to ignore everything. I said because I was a lazy worker. So when I warned them about the environment, I think they were just like, nah, she's just lazy. Bro, he was gaslighting people. That sucks, man. It sucks that those people, for some reason, always get into those positions and they, like, keep them forever. Like, how? How? And then the good people, like the woman I worked with, and she should have been the manager, dude. She just literally should have been the manager. She did all of his work. He just got paid and slept in his car. Oh yeah, chat, I didn't tell you. So what he gave me as a thank you for working from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. at night and then coming in again at 10 a.m. the next day, like basically going home, sleeping, and driving back to work. What he gave me for that was, there's this place called Buffalo Wild Wing or something, some wing place. He gave me his leftover container from his wings from lunch and said, here, there you go, treat yourself. He literally said that to me and handed me his actually eaten through leftovers. And my coworkers were like, bro, they're like, yo, he gave you food? I'm like, he's eaten out of this. And they're like, so? And I was like, excuse me? And I was like, I'm not going to eat someone's leftovers. And I threw it in the garbage. And that, I think, was the first time they saw me demonstrate extreme anger, because I like whipped it in the garbage and I said I needed to take a break and I walked out. I had to just take a break, chat. I went in my car and cried, but you know what? That's what, it's not funny. It is sad that I went and did that, but it's kind of like, I have to laugh or else it's sad. Do you know what I mean? I do that a lot. I have to laugh because it's just so sad. He gave me his actual effing leftovers. Like, what the? Oh my gosh, chat. From the Buffalo Wild, from the wing place he was at for like 5 hours when he was supposed to be with us. He gave me those leftovers. I was like, dude, what the? Holy bro. I'm also proud of myself for not taking it. I threw it in the garbage. I was like, I will not be eating this man's leftovers. Thank you very much. I'm worth more than that. It's not like I wanted anything from him either. I wanted a day off. Not the wings. Bruh. That place is... Just talking about that place, like, I'm so happy I left. It's been rough, but... 110%, what the... What do we have? Oh my gosh, why is it taking so long to collect this? We're gonna have to go crazy. I can hear the lava underneath us. If I accidentally hit one wrong thing and I go under the ground, I'm gone. I'm gone. Not gonna lie, I would have eaten them, but mostly because I stress eat. The whole situation of being given the wings would have stressed me out enough to eat them. I went and bought myself a sandwich after that. And I cried and ate it. I think I like went across the street and got a sandwich, and then I ate it crying in the car. And then I went back to work and stayed there by myself from like 4 to midnight and ran the whole department and got everything done for the next day so she wasn't overwhelmed. He also didn't like, I think he knew of anyone there, I would report him the first person to report him. So he used to make me close every single day. Everyone would get early shifts so they could leave work by like 7. They could leave work by, I don't know, like 4. And I left work. I would always, and they actually, all my coworkers were like, why are you the only person who closes? For a whole year, I was like the only person who closed at night. And he would make me close alone because that would stress me out, being the only person there, because it's busy and people are yelling at you and there's never a manager. So they're just gonna yell at you. And none of the other managers like knew anything about this department for some reason. So like they'd be like, oh, I don't know what to do. They're like, you handle it. Like you would literally call a manager and they'd be like, oh, I don't know what to do. You deal with it. And I'm like, I did. And they're mad. They don't like what I said, which is the policy. So I don't know what you want me to do. I started chat just telling people. Chat, whenever there was irate customers, it got to the point where I'd be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, you know what? You should call head office. And I would let them call head office. It's not my fault. If my manager's not there and they're not taking what I said as policy and they're like, this is stupid, not a policy. One guy actually asked me if I was gonna get fired for something I told him. He gave me this poster and I told him they could, like, we didn't do it there. Some other company made it and this company was garbage. I don't even know why this company was hired because they would damage stuff all the time. And so literally, chat, when we would take people's things, we would have to tell them there is a high probability that this is going to be damaged. If you have to say that when you're handing something, like someone's giving you something as a business, then you don't work with that company anymore. I don't understand why. I don't understand. And so I would have to tell them that. And then you get in a fight with them because sometimes it was like a family photo where they only have one of it out of their whole thing. We're like, please give us the photocopy because we can't guarantee this is not going to go missing. Do things go missing often? Yes. In fact, like 80% of the things we send come back broken or missing. And then they'd get mad at me, but it's not my fault. I don't want to take the stuff. I don't want to take it. So one guy, this guy said he was a doctor. He was this young guy and he gave me these posters and I asked him, can you get reprints of these? Or, you know, is it easy? Is this within a $15 whatever? Because the company would cover $15 of it or whatever. And he's like, oh yeah, it's whatever. It's for my practice. And he was kind of upset that I was even asking him this. And I said, I just have to ask you because it is policy because this can get damaged. And he's like, oh, yeah, it's fine, whatever. 3 weeks later, chat, guess what? They come back damaged. They come back in the wrong size. They come back messed up. It's not my fault. I took the order correctly. Everything looked correct, but there was damage. And now he needs them redone. And I told him, yeah, when he came back with his girlfriend and I was getting ready to go on vacation and I'm talking to him redoing the order. And he's like, oh, he's like, oh, so what do you, like, how are we, he was just making conversation. Like, what are you going to do this weekend or something? I was like, oh, I actually am going to be off. I'm not going to be here for a while. He's like, oh, because you got fired? And I was like, no, because I have time off. And his girlfriend's like, you're being so mean. And the whole time he was making these passive remarks at me like I should be fired for something I told him could happen. And it was his responsibility to make sure he gave me something that wasn't valuable. He's like, I had to pay $300 to get more posters. And I was like, I asked you if they were within a $15 limit. and they actually, chat, we make them sign that we had that conversation with them. I literally can't. I hated it, chat. The whole business model was crap. The whole business model was crap. That sucks. I wish I could have had a car to cry in. I used to just cry in front of my coworkers, and also my boss would watch us work on webcams. So if he phoned to shout abuse, what? He would watch you on webcams and then phone to what? At me, I would cry I would try so hard not to cry or show I was upset because I knew he was watching at home. He sat at home watching? What the heck job did you work at? Oh my gosh, that's horrible. That's messed up. Is there a better way to do this? I feel like the stone cutter is just loud. I feel like the stone cutter is just loud. This is quieter, I feel like. That's crazy, dude. Okay, this is much better than... Wait, what is it? Oh, it's 4. I gotta be a real Minecrafter. Oh. I don't have enough. Okay, we got quite a bit this time. I think we have enough to finish it. Bum, 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 bum. Do, 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 do. All right. Oh, I threw those there. I was like, why are there floating little bricks? I put them there. Holy crap. Here we go. Oh, I thought if I held it down, I could do that. Okay, we are so close, chat. We're so close. We are so close. Okay, once we get this, I think we're supposed to have an information counter and we're supposed to have bathrooms and like eating thing. Bunch of stuff, but we can do it. I know we can do it. Yeah, we're super close. Whoops. Okay. Oh shoot, we're super close. Okay, we are almost there. Wow, I really didn't even think we would actually like use all these bricks, but we're actually using pretty much all of them. It's crazy. This space was way bigger than I thought it was. Oh my gosh, we're actually gonna need more? Chat, I actually was so sure we had enough. Oh my goodness. That's surprising. We gotta also figure out a fountain here or something. I was a TV producer. Oh, cool. At a kind of seedy adult channel. Ladies in undies would wiggle around on the TV trying to get men to call up and they would talk to them. So the management thought they could treat everyone like crap because a lot of the employees were quite vulnerable. Oh, but because we were on air 24/7, the boss would watch us on webcams if he wasn't in. He was only bothered to come in for like 2 hours a day. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. That's crazy that they could watch you like that. I feel like that's illegal. I guess that's like the same as having like, I mean, I don't know. Like if they have security, like we had a camera like above us that like the security could watch, but there wasn't always people there. They told us, they tried to make us scared, like we can see everything you're doing. And I'm like, then they should have seen us play Just Dance, because chat, one time I played Just Dance because I didn't care about the job anymore. I played Just Dance once. We did funny stuff though, like it was The Office, chat. A lot of us in there actually watched The Office, and we would do stuff like make ninja stars out of paper, and we would have competitions throwing them into like rolls of like you know, like how there's paper towel rolls, there was like photo rolls, these giant things of photo paper, and when we would run like use all the paper, we would keep the rolls and then we would play games with them. Listen, chat, listen, it gets boring sometimes when you're for like 1 month out of the whole year when we weren't busy. We were busy all the time, but like on a slow day, we would do some stuff. We would bet like, oh, I'll bet you $500 if you can do this. And we would like do some stuff. Okay, we played Just Dance once. It was a snowstorm. Not one soul came in the whole building. Basically, it was a snowstorm. We were like, dang, we're gonna get stuck in traffic. And so I pulled out my Switch and I was like, I've Just Danced, and we played it right under where the camera was. Do you think we got fired? No one cared. I would not recommend doing that. Okay, I would not, but I did it and I thought it was fun. So that is done. We have one strip, which I think we could make a color of something. Could make it a color of something. Yeah, we had good times there. As much as it sucked, my coworkers and I had really good... We made the best of it when we were there together. No. Oh. Nah. I was gonna do a moat. We don't need to do a moat. That sounds fun. Yeah, we would like throw ninja stars in the like paper things. A manager caught us once, but she didn't do anything. I mean, they let me get caught for it. They didn't tell. It was one of those, she's right behind me, isn't it? Only I didn't say that because that's cheesy, but I was like, oh, I was like thinking she's right behind me. And I turned around and there was this lady and she's like, you guys shouldn't be doing that. You should be acting professional. And I was like, what a joke. This place is unprofessional. But I didn't say it. I was like, okay, sorry. I was throwing ninja stars in there to win 60 bucks. Or so that this guy could pay for lunch. Like, we would also do like who's gonna pay for lunch and stuff like that. It was pretty fun. Honestly, we laughed a lot. For as much as horrible as that was, all of us working in there, we laughed all the time. Like, everyone got along and it was just like everyone was laughing. It got weird towards the end. We had a new hire and the dynamic changed, to be honest, a little bit, and not really in a good way. It was very gossip heavy and like, what is this other person doing or who are they sleeping with? And it was like super high school for me, and it was just like a really different feel. The vibe definitely changed when we had a certain hire come in, but it wasn't horrible. It was just different, and that was interesting. It was an interesting change in dynamic, but it wasn't necessarily bad, all bad. It was interesting. It was interesting. But yeah, as bad as it was, I did have a lot of fun with those people. They were a lot of fun. Like I said, I was sad to leave them. They were a lot of fun. Oh man, we had some here this whole time. I think we should do leaves. Yeah, it's mad how one person can change a whole dynamic of things. Yeah, it was so interesting. They were actually, because of that, they were worried when I was hired. Because apparently I was one of the newest hires in a long time. And they had a girl who was like seasonal, which means they just come in when we need help, when it's when it's busy. She ended up staying for a long time because it kept being busy. And she was done school. And so she ended up becoming more regular, but I was like technically an official part-time hire, and I ended up working full-time anyway, even though I didn't want to. Working like 40-hour weeks. And now I technically work more. Making videos and stuff, I technically work 65, I think, hours or something. But that's okay. I enjoy it more, so it doesn't feel as bad. It doesn't feel like 40 hours there feels way different than 40 hours doing what I'm doing now. But it was interesting. It was interesting. They said they were worried about me because they're like, we were like, is she gonna be funny? Is she gonna vibe? Because they did shenanigans, and I was like, I don't care. Like, I don't care whatever you're doing. I don't care about whatever you're doing. Where I work now, there's a whole extra interview at the end of the process to make sure the person fits the dynamic of the team they're joining. That's kind of good though. I feel like that's kind of good, because having someone who comes in and it's just weird makes the work environment, not that work environments have to be fun, but they at least have to function. They at least have to function. Max, what's that smile? What is that? Why are you smiling like that? How am I not sleep? Oh, Max just came in. Well, then sleep, please. Yeah, it's really interesting. Work environments are interesting. I also learned when I worked for the first time, like when I got my first job, which was after high school, was that like, it's just like high school. Like being an adult is just being an older person in high school. That smells very 2005. It's a very 2005, Max. You're dating yourself. Do you see that? Yo, sleep, Max. If you're gonna be in here, sleep. Man, that's crazy. I'm getting tired. Holy, I had a bad headache. I think it finally got sunny, but it was raining. And whenever it rains, chat, the pressure gives me really bad headaches. Ever since the concussion, it's like as soon as there's pressure change outside, I feel it immediately, which is why planes are excruciating to be on, because the pressure changes so rapidly. It feels like my head's literally gonna explode. It's like if it's like, you know, X-Men, how mutants, like when they can hear something, it's like they close their eyes and it's like their head feels like that's like literally what it was like being on a plane. So like, because of the pressure changing, I thought I was gonna bleed from my nose. It was so bad. And then every time it rains now, I love when it rains because I actually kind of like rainy weather. I just like, I don't know, it makes me feel like cozy. But today it was like my head, the pressure must be really thick or like intense because my head hurts so bad. And even though I took an ibuprofen, the whole front of my eyes right now and my nose feels like there's pressure. It just feels like I need to go to sleep. That's what it makes me tired, and like it makes me have brain fog. So that's why reading some of the text, like for the scavenger hunt, I read it slow because I have a harder time processing thought and reading, especially reading when it's like this. It's like my brain's not processing information very quickly. Like right now I don't even remember what we were working on, to be honest with you, chat. I don't even remember what we were doing. I don't know what I was doing for the past 20 minutes. I'm sorry, chat. It just happens. Max, what was I doing? This happens all the time. It also happens mid-sentence, chat. Sometimes I'll start to have problems speaking if it gets really bad, and I'll, Max, what was I doing? Probably something to do with laying those bricks. I was laying oh, the bricks! Max, please stop. I was laying bricks. I remember now, chat. Thank you. Max, I'm serious. Stop. You can type whatever you want. You can't just... Having a younger brother, chat. I don't want these. Leave me alone! I don't have anywhere to put them, Max. I'm gonna wait for the update and get a little axolotl village. Oh, I remember what I wanted to do, chat. I wanted to get leaves. I remember now. Sorry, chat. I'm sorry. Some days it happens and it's... I don't, Some days it happens, chat, and I try not to tell you. Laughs an only child. Bro. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? See? It's like my hand-eye coordination's starting to go a little bit. Sorry, chat. But yeah, it happens mid-conversation too. Ever since the I had the brain injury. Aren't you making a zoo? Yeah, but I don't know where to put them. I don't know where to put them. I'm still trying to just make the front of it. Leaves. Please remember. Leaves. I'm trying to remember. Leaves. Remember what you were here for. Remember what you're here for. Leaves. Oh no, I'm gonna have to make another one. Yeah, in mid-sentence, chat, I can just stop, I can just forget what I'm talking about. I'll be like, yeah, and then there was... And then I pause, and then I can't remember what I'm talking about. It happens a lot, actually, while I'm streaming. And I know you all notice, so always tell me. If you see me forget something mid-sentence, and I start doing something else, please remind me. It's literally like as if my brain reset. I don't know why it does that. They don't know why it does that. I still haven't been able to get the brain scan. They were trying to wait for COVID to be not as severe so I can go to the clinic and get a brain scan and hopefully be compensated since I can't really work a normal job and stuff. It's a whole entire process that's gonna be... I'm not looking forward to. Oh, there it is. This is the one I'm looking for. So I do apologize. I am also so tired because we streamed 9 days in a row last week, chat. That's crazy. So I'm exhausted. And then that y'all know I had that severe panic attack, so it makes it worse. It's just like as if I'm just like, I don't know, overrun. But the pressure's making it so bad. Why is my voice going away? If you need to stop, don't feel like you gotta keep streaming if your head hurts. Oh, thank you. I might stop because it's starting to... I'm starting to forget what I'm doing, and that's not good. I always feel bad when it happens. And I haven't actually talked about it in a while. I'm sure there's a lot of new people coming to the streams or like watching the VODs that don't know, and they're probably like, wow, she can't even stay on track. But it's that I don't remember what I was doing, and I won't say it every time because I feel like a little embarrassed when it happens, chat. I'm gonna be honest, I feel a little embarrassed when I forget stuff, and it's like I feel, what am I doing? Oh yeah, see, I forgot again. I'm doing leaves. I was sometimes in Minecraft, you'll see I'll be searching stuff all the time, and it's me waiting for me to remember what I was doing. I get embarrassed, and it's not like I'm embarrassed. It's like I'm embarrassed. It's weird. It's like I'm embarrassed because I'm like, Tatiana, you should know better. You should do better. And that's so unrealistic and toxic to do that to myself, but I do that to myself all the time, and like all the time. I'm always apologize. Like when I had that panic attack, chat, I apologized to each of my family members because I felt like I made them ashamed or made them upset. But if they had it, I wouldn't think that at all. It's like as if, you know, when people say the rules don't apply to me, but I mean it as like I need to be perfect. You know what I mean? It's like the other way. I gotta go. Hope your head feels better. I hope you have a fantastic night. Thank you so much for being here and chatting. And yeah, I'm probably gonna stop shortly. And hopefully it's better. Hopefully the pressure will change and I'll feel a little better. But enjoy your weekend. Have a good weekend. I just remembered it's Friday. Okay, this should be all we need. Just want to make sure we picked it up. We'll lay this, and then I think that'll be it for today. Because I don't want to get too messed up. Also, part of why I'm taking Friday off. Okay, well, maybe Tuesday. It depends on when we get an appointment. Tuesday or Monday, but I will let you all know when I find out. And my voice is going away, which I don't know why. What was I doing? Was I yelling? I don't think I was yelling. I haven't been yelling. So it's like this. Creeper blew it up. We'll just see what this looks like. Might look ugly. It's not the worst. I feel like we need to close this off somehow. Maybe we need to make this extend out. So it's like you're walking in. You know what I mean? I think that's the best. Stairs, bathrooms, information, food. Okay, so this part is done. That took so long for no reason. It's coming along. It's coming along. It's coming along. Definitely coming along. I think that's it for me today, chat. I'm getting a little foggy. Getting a little foggy. It's not entertaining watching me not remember what I'm doing the whole time. Unless it is. I don't know. Maybe it is. Anyway, I think that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. I hope it was super chill. We talked a lot about all kinds of stuff. Minecraft streams are usually like that, though. We're just chatting. And, oh, it's stretching. I'm tired, man. I think that's it for today. I think that's it. I'm gonna go and relax and do nothing and sleep, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But I hope you all have a good weekend. Sorry, I'm forgetting how to do the outro, chat. See? It's so bad I'm starting to forget what I'm talking about. I gotta go. I gotta go. I hope you all have a great weekend. If you're watching live, thank you so much for being here and hanging out. If you were chatting, thank you. If you're lurking, thank you. You're also extremely valued. Don't think you are not valued. I see you lurking. I see the number of people in here. I'm like, they lurking, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you. If you're here watching the VOD on Twitch, thank you so much for being here. And if you're watching the VOD on YouTube, hey, thank you so much for checking out the VOD and making it to the ending. If you ever want to catch these streams live and participate and hang out and chat, I am live on Twitch at twitch.tv/x.awkwardgamer, and I'm live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Fridays at 3 p.m. Eastern every week. So feel free to come hang out and chat and check it out. So yeah, I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. I will let you all know on Discord or Twitter, well, Discord and Twitter, if it'll be Monday I'm taking off or Tuesday, but one day next week I gotta take off because I'm really exhausted and I have to kind of recoup. So I will let you all know though, so don't worry, you will know what days I'm streaming next week. I'll post a schedule. You too, thanks Tatiana. Hey, Flying Machine Kit, welcome. Thanks for being here. I hope you all have a good weekend. Remember to stay safe, hug your loved ones, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.